Alright. The week is ruined just as it's getting started, so that's fantastic. Lions lose. We are now 1-1 on this 2024 season. First of all, I do want to give Tampa Bay credit. You know, Vegas is usually never wrong. Vegas is rarely wrong, but coming into this game, me personally, I don't know about you, but me personally, the line coming into this one of like Lions -7, -7.5, -8, I really did not understand it. You know, Tampa Bay's a good team. This is a team that not only got to the playoffs last year, but won a playoff game. I like Baker. They have a ton of weapons on offense. Sure, they were missing some key pieces in this game, but the line was just so big, you know? I understand it. I felt like Tampa Bay was getting a little disrespected coming into this one. You have to give Tampa Bay credit and tip the cap to them. This is a big win for the Bucs for sure. But as for the Lions, where do we begin? I'm just looking at my notes right here in case you're wondering what I'm looking at. Oh, I have my notes right here, then my iPad right here in case you're wondering what I'm not just staring off into the distance, you know, I'm actually looking at stuff that's completely beside the point. I mean, how do you not start by just talking about that offense? You know, last week it was okay to be like, yeah, the offense wasn't perfect, but we still got the win. Now that we lost a football game, we can talk about how the offense was bad and it needs to be better. It was okay last week because we still got the win. This week, no. Like, we lost this game because of the offense. We need to talk about it. This offense needs to be better. And they know that, but Hutch and our defense today were giving you everything, especially in the fourth quarter. This defense just made stop after stop after stop to give you the football back and to give you a chance. Just like last week against the Rams, the defense was making stop after stop late, and they were giving you the ball back and giving you a chance. The only difference from last week to this week is that last week we were actually able to capitalize on that chance. This week, we weren't able to. The defense was giving you everything, and that's one of the things, if not the biggest thing, that makes this so frustrating. They know it, but this offense needs to be better. 1 for 7 in the red zone. That is ridiculous. 1 for 7 in the red zone. Now listen, don't get me wrong. As I said last week, me personally, I'm not worried about the offense yet. It's still so early in the season, okay? They didn't play at all in the preseason. There's too much talent on this offense to not eventually get going, okay? I'm not worried yet. I'm not hitting the panic button. But after a loss in which the offense is the biggest reason that you lost this game, the offense needs to be better. Like I said, 1 for 7 in the red zone. Jared did not have his best day today. The first interception, the refs missed a PI there against JMO. I don't really put that one on Jared. The second interception, though, I don't know what that was. That one was on Jared. And overall today, just not his sharpest day. Again, like, I'm not concerned. You know, it's still so early in the season. Didn't play in the preseason. I don't need to go over this again. I'm not concerned. Not the best day for Jared either. The biggest number that keeps coming up into my head, as I've said a million times already, 1 for 7 in the red zone. That can't happen, man. I'm laughing because that's the only thing that's keeping me from crying right now. 1 for 7 in the red zone. You can't do that. You need to be better. You need to capitalize on your red zone opportunities, man. I just don't know what to say other than that. 1 for 7 in the red zone. You need to be better, period. And you really need to be better in the red zone. 1 for 7. Oh. Here's another thing I want to talk about regarding this loss. Another big reason why we lost this one. The ending to the first half, that MCDC owned up to it. He owned up to the mistake, but that was a disaster. That was a disastrous way to end the first half, and that completely changed this football game. If we get those 3 points there, completely changes the game. Completely changes the outlook going into halftime. It completely changes the way the second half goes and how the second half is run. Probably, we're talking about a win right now if we get those 3 points there and we avoid that disaster to end the half. That can't happen. And again, Dan owned up to it. He knows, mistakes were made there. That is another major reason that we lost this football game. That is another thing that just cannot happen. Oh, yeah, man. Not really sure what else to say other than that. Just, like I've said, I'll say it one more time just to make my point clear here. I'm not concerned yet. It's still so early in the season. But as we all know, the offense needs to be better. I think they will be. Hopefully as soon as next week in Arizona. The offense needs to be better. Jared needs to be better. We can't have mistakes like that at the end of the first half either. Just need to be better, particularly on the offensive side of the ball. Because the defense today, like I said earlier in the video, ladies and gentlemen, they were giving you so many opportunities to win this game. And you just couldn't capitalize like you did last week. Offensive and defensive players of the game. Let's start with the defense. How do you not give it to Aiden Hutchinson? One of the biggest and one of the only positives after this loss to the Lions, without question, Aiden Hutchinson. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not quite 5, but 4.5 sacks in this football game. 4.5. He was unblockable. He was insane. He was insane today, ladies and gentlemen. And now he's got 5.5 sacks in the season, just through the first 2 weeks of the season. 5.5 through the first 2 weeks. I thought about this during the game today. You can almost, with the way Hutch is starting this season, again, it's only 2 weeks. We need to see how the rest of the season plays out. But 5.5 sacks through the first 2 weeks of the season. If he keeps this up, he is absolutely going to be, if not the front runner, he will absolutely be in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. And it's almost like how Tiger fans felt going into the baseball season regarding Tarek Skubal winning the Cy Young. Tiger fans have always been saying, especially going into this baseball season, oh yeah, watch out for Tarek Skubal to win the Cy Young. And now he's actually about to win the Cy Young, Lion fans have always been saying, especially in this offseason, Aiden Hutchinson is going to be in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation. If he keeps this up, again, it's early, but 5.5 sacks for the first 2 weeks of the season, if he keeps this up, he is absolutely going to be, if not the front runner, he will be in that conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. So yeah, Hutch, definitely the defensive player of the game today for the Lions. Shout out to Brian Branch, though. If not for Hutch dominating the way that he did, I would probably give it to Brian Branch. He had the pick in this one, and there were other times today where I was going, there's Brian Branch doing what he does, making plays. Offensive player of the game for the Lions today. This isn't a joking matter. He actually did have a really good game. There's two guys I'm kind of considering giving it to as I look at the stats right now. I'm torn between Amon-Ra and Waymo. I'm torn between them. Oh, because I gave it to J-Mo last week, I'll give it to Amon-Ra this week. I mean, he did have a really good game. We all knew he was going to bounce back after last week. We all knew he was going to bounce back. It was just a matter of when. He bounced back today. He's also a little bit banged up too, so hopefully that won't be too much of a concern going forward. But, Amon-Ra, 11 catches for 119 yards. He was awesome. But I considered giving my player of the game on offense to J-Mo because not only did he have 5 catches for 79 yards and a rush for 15 yards, but on that 4th and 1 in the fourth quarter in which Jahmyr Gibbs got plus 23, who had the big block on that play? J-Mo, impacting the game in more ways than one. So J-Mo's a close second. He deserves a shout out, but I'll give my offensive player of the game to Amon-Ra St. Brown. All right, I really have nothing else to say other than that. Enjoy your week. This week's going to be terrible. Oh, this week is going to suck. Oh, it's going to suck. Hopefully this will be a wake-up call for the offense to realize that they need to be better. Because like I said already, ladies and gentlemen, like I said in the beginning of the video, because we won last week, it's probably different for, the team itself, but at least for us fans, it was easy to push past the offensive struggles because we still won the football game. But now that we lost, maybe now the offense will be like, all right, we need to be better. We need to bounce back and play a lot better starting next week in Arizona. So hopefully starting next week against the Cardinals, we'll see this Lions offense really clicking to the way that we have seen it over the past, number of years. Hopefully, because I didn't miss this feeling about talking about a loss, and I don't love it. I don't love this feeling about talking about a loss and having my week ruined just as it starts. So, yeah, this sucks, but hopefully we can bounce back next week in Arizona. With that, that's all I got for you in this one, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next week after the Cardinals game. As always, go Lions, baby.